G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the all-new myCOOLMAN Recreational 78 litre dual zone fridge freezer and some of the features and benefits that it provides. So basically it's a 78 litre dual zone fridge, so 2 separate compartments, 2 separate lids. You can have any temperature set in either compartment. There's no restrictions. There's no need to have one set colder than the other. If you want to have both as a freezer, that's okay. If you want to have both as a fridge, that's also okay. Fridge or freezer, and you can even turn one side off. If you're getting to the end of the trip and you want to conserve some power, it's quite easy to turn one side off and then just operate the other side to keep your items cold. One of the features we've incorporated in this new dual zone recreational fridge is the ease at which you can swap the lids. So it's as simple as lifting out one side, unhooking off the pin on the lid, and then to fit it, again, it's as simple as lining up the pin, dropping in the pin into the open socket on the other side, and then your lid opens the other way. There's no tools required, and it takes all of about 10 seconds to do each lid. We also understand the importance of overall height of a portable fridge these days. A lot of people are wanting to put them in dual cab utes and the like, and they're a bit restricted with height, but they still want a large capacity fridge or fridge freezer. So we've really spent a lot of time to come up with a critical height of 460 millimeters from the base to the very top of the lid on this fridge, and that will flow through all of the new recreational fridge models. They will all be 460 mil height, and they will all fit in any dual cab setup that you might have. The recreational fridge has a heap of new features that we'll talk about that are standard inclusions with these products. First and foremost, with this recreational range, we have added some new features which I'll run through shortly. We want this fridge to work really efficiently and really reliably for our customers. So we've maintained things like really thick insulation, easy to change over lid directions to suit any sort of installation purposes. The same kind of operation that people are used to with their myCOOLMAN fridges. The actual display panel is very similar. You will have Bluetooth app that you can use to control the fridge and monitor the fridge when you're not directly with the fridge. And we've ensured that we keep those expected features as standard inclusions in this new range. The recreational range is a DC powered fridge range. It means it only has DC sockets. There is one at each end. It will operate off 12 and 24 volts straight out of the box. There is also a 240 volt AC adapter if the consumer wants to run it from home and plug it into the wall. That will be available separately. All of our recreational fridges in this new myCOOLMAN range will absolutely work happily with the myCOOLMAN 15 amp power pack. It will magnetize around the sides of the fridge and stay in place and operate exactly as the other myCOOLMAN fridges do off the power pack. As far as standard features on the myCOOLMAN recreational fridges, it includes everything you'd expect from a myCOOLMAN fridge. 3-stage battery monitor, so low, medium and high settings. Dual speed compressor, so it does have the turbo function that you know and love with our myCOOLMAN fridges, just to give you that extra boost if you're looking to freeze product or the conditions are really hot. It also has the override switch, so if there is any electronic problems while you're away on holidays, you can override them by sliding the override switch. So we've really carried those features over from the existing myCOOLMAN fridge range to keep this rec range really in alignment with what we already have in the market. It's a really simple process to set the temperature on the myCOOLMAN recreational fridge. It's very similar or essentially the same as the other myCOOLMAN fridges. It's a matter of pressing the mode button once, and then your temperature for that zone comes up flashing, and then you can set it up and down with the plus and minus buttons till you get your desired set temperature. Let it blink out, and once it goes back to solid, it's showing the ambient temperature, and it'll keep cooling until it reaches the temperature you've set in that particular zone. Battery monitor is exactly the same as in the other myCOOLMAN fridges. You scroll through the menu until you get to the high, low or medium setting, and you scroll through that until you find your desired battery monitor or battery cutout setting. As always, we recommend low or medium unless you're using a crank battery for a vehicle or a boat and you really can't let that battery get low on charge at all. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine to set it to low and medium and let the battery cycle down a bit. You'll get a longer run time from your fridge. There's 3 new features that we've incorporated with the myCOOLMAN recreational fridges separately to what's in the existing myCOOLMAN range. The first one is the multicolored dimmable internal lighting. Most portable fridges come with white LED internal lighting. It's one color and also one brightness. We've decided with this myCOOLMAN Recreational range that we'd add 2 settings of a white color LED lighting. So there's a dim setting, a much brighter white internal lighting setting, but then we've also added an amber or orange colored lighting setting. This will aid if the fridge is being used outside and there's a lot of insects and bugs around. This will aid in preventing them being attracted to your fridge. If you've got the fridge door open and you're getting product out, the last thing you want to do is let a whole heap of bugs get in with your food or other items you might have in the fridge. Setting the color of the internal LED lighting is as simple as scrolling through the menu. As you do to set the temperature and battery monitor and everything else, you get to a menu that essentially says B1, B2 or B3. B1 is dim white, B2 is bright white, and B3 is amber or orange. This is all clearly stated in the manual with a step-by-step guide on how to get to that stage. You can then chop and change how you see fit depending on how you're using the fridge or what time of day it is or what you require for your personal taste. A second new feature we've incorporated is an auto dimming display. We do hear feedback about portable refrigeration. Sometimes the display can be really bright, and while that's really good when it's daylight and you've got it in the back of the vehicle or it's out under the awning of the caravan during the day, really easy to read, it's got to be nice and bright, that's fine. But what we also hear is at night time, especially if the fridge is being kept in sleeping quarters or inside a tent, inside a caravan, inside a camper trailer, or even inside a vehicle, that the display can be too bright. So what we've done in this recreational range, the display will auto dim, so it won't turn off and it doesn't really get really dull, but it probably cuts the brightness in half. And if you haven't used the display for any reason, haven't pressed any buttons, the display will actually auto dim after about 30 seconds of no use and stay that way until you press a button to activate the full brightness of the display. We think this is a pretty cool, easy to use feature, and people can also override it if they want it as a normal display and bright the whole time. You can also turn the auto dim setting off. We've also incorporated, I guess, a silent feature for the display. You can hear whenever you press a button, there's a beep noise. That is a good feature at times because it can let you know if an accidental press of the button is happening or if people you don't want to be setting temperature on your fridge are doing so. But what we have incorporated is a way to turn that off. So if people find that annoying and they've got full trust in everyone around their fridge, they can actually turn that beeping noise off and have a fully silent control panel, which again, through the night, if you're wanting to change the information or settings on your fridge, you can have that turned off, and that way you don't wake people up with the beeping noise. All of these features can also be activated and controlled and turned on and off via the app that you can download for your fridge. Once you purchase it, the app will give you access to do all of this without touching the control panel of the fridge. We have done this as a 78 litre dual zone fridge. Because of the hump, as there always is, where the compressor is, the larger compartment, or the large compartment, which most people will use as a fridge, is 45 litre. And then the other compartment is 33 litre, and that gives you your 78 litres total capacity. What you will notice is the lids are identical in size. So both lids and both compartments, the actual opening is the same size, but you lose a bit of capacity because of the compressor hump in the smaller section. But these lids are interchangeable, so if you do swap the lids around, it doesn't matter if you switch the right to the left or the left to the right, they'll fit in and work quite happily on either side. We know how people want to secure these fridges so they don't move around on a fridge slide or in the back of the car or in the back of the ute. So we have incorporated really strong handles with an aluminium tube as the carry handle part, but it also provides a really strong point to tie or strap the fridge down to something solid just to stop them moving around. They are quite heavy. They do have rubber feet on the base of them to keep them up off the ground, but also to stop them sliding. But we do recommend that people would secure them so they're not just loose in the back of a vehicle or even on a fridge slide. You don't want them on rough roads bouncing around too much. So strapping them down with these handles is an ideal way to stop that happening and stop any potential damage to the fridge or the items inside it. For more tips and information, make sure to follow our channel, visit our website, or contact our dedicated service team.